you.
Yeah. Send it to me. Let me.
Let the man show to you. Wait. Let him show to you that he has money in the account. He got nothing there.
You will see the
Nothing.
detail of expenditure line by line.
Okay.
So the answer is no. We have not exhausted how possible it is. You in second quarter and you have expended up to fourth quarter. No honorability. Let's take politics out of everything. This is leadership. This is administration.
Okay.
Can you show us? Can you promise the Liberian people now on this air? Can you promise the Liberian people now on this air that you are going to give us the reason? No. Chief, can you make a promise to the Liberian people?
Go and look at it. Go and read it, Chief.
No. Chief, you are co-chair for Ways and Means. Can you promise Julius J on the show that by tomorrow
You should be promising you have the authority, you have
Okay, because the news is coming up. The news are coming up. So let's do this. Representative Thomas.
Make a promise that you will give it to the man tomorrow.
Okay, so and so Representative Thomas, can you join us at 5 o'clock tomorrow? So that we look at all of these things.
Let him bring a report to you. That we don't want to hear empty story. Let him bring a report.
I'm just giving you the information that no, government operates.
So so how much left there, sir? How much you get in your operational account?
Nothing. They finish it all.
But you said money stayed there, sir. So
but I'm telling you, we operating based on cash plan.
But Chief, I know now. I know that you operating
so that
on.
the information on the benefit giving you is false.
No, but he's saying that there is no money there, and you are saying money there, and so can you tell us how much there?
He is not always means and finance. He is not part of the leadership.
I agree, sir. And so I agree, sir. But Chivo, since you're on the radio now, let me agree with you for the sake of the argument that what he's saying is not true. He's saying that there is no money that and you are saying it is not true. So I am asking you how much is left there. You just say that to the Liberian people before we even come to the documents.
Julius, we talking.
He will never answer you.
We talking.
That man will never answer you. That man who ordered he kept crying for money. He didn't even know what happening.
You say you're a richest man, so why you saying somebody crying for money? Can't get
my money not for you. Boss man, I'm doing fine. I'm just okay, but my money is not for you. And the money you're playing with is not for y'all. That man who ordered he kept crying for money. That man will never answer you. That man who ordered he kept crying for money. That man will never answer you. That man who ordered he.
Julius, we talking.
He will never answer you.
We talking.
That man will never answer you. That man who ordered he kept crying for money. He didn't even know what happening.
You say you're the richest man, so why you saying somebody crying for money? Can't get
my money not for you. That man who ordered he kept crying for money. He didn't even know what happening.
You say you're the richest man, so why you saying somebody crying for money? Can't get
my money not for you.
You say you're the richest man, so why you saying somebody crying for money? Can't get
my money not for you.
You say you're the richest man, so why you saying somebody crying for money? Can't get
my money not for you. Boss man, I'm doing fine. I'm just okay, but my money is not for you. And the money you're playing with is not for y'all. It's for the people.
You gotta be specific when you give information to the public. You have a distinguished.
Tell the people that Allah. I said the budget we passed the last time. The money that was there for the legislature, you're finishing in it.
You know that is a lavish information. That is a blanket information.
Bring documents to prove me wrong.
Misleading. It doesn't represent you as
Okay.
a distinguished member of this party that you profess to support. That is wrong. You can't be giving this
body. I'm not supporting your body. Somebody thinks I'm supporting you.
Okay, thanks so kindly, gentlemen. I'll try to get back in touch with both of you and see what we can get.
Everything.
But thanks so kindly, sir.
You that politics.
That man will not tell you nothing. That's no flaw. They finish getting all the money.
Thanks so kindly. Thanks so kindly. Representative Thomas, let me call you after the show. Let me call you after the show.
Thanks. Let him say the report.
Okay.
I dare him.
Thanks so kindly. That's how we go. Wow, what an edition of the OK Conversation. Oh yeah. The OK Conversation on OK FM 99.5. We are right here. But better thing is that you didn't reach us, man. You can't give me some money. My money not for you. One of the lawmakers was even calling. He thought it was a live stuff. He wanted to participate. I said no. It never gets old. At 5 o'clock, former Assistant Finance and Development Planning Minister Benedict Koluba will join us. He's back in country from Italy. I think he's doing his research here. He's studying for, I believe, another master's. He will tell us. But of course, we'll discuss the state of the Liberian economy, certain key aspects of it. The issues of rice importation. There's issues of jobs in government, pay, and all those kinds of things. Inflation, implementation of the arrest agenda for inclusive development. What does he think about it so far? All of those things as of 5 p.m. At 4 p.m., we expect to have officials of the Liberia Medicine Regulatory Health Authority. And if you can't stay close, they have something coming up. We will be talking about that. Before then, we will talk about the things that matter. A jaw-dropping interview from Senator Samuel Koga. All of those things coming up. You always have fun. And if you live in a glass house, I bet you don't throw stones. Money not for you. Said if you live in a glass house, indeed, we are right here. This is where we go next, right here. I guess you're shaking up there wherever you are, whatever you're doing. This is the OK Conversation on OK FM 99.5, the 26th day of August 2025. Botswana's President Duma Boko has declared a public health emergency due to a collapse of the national medical supply chain, leaving hospitals and clinics without essential medicines. The military will oversee emergency distribution, with trucks departing Gaborone for remote areas by Monday evening. The government has approved 17 million for urgent procurement, but the country's budget has been constrained this year due to a prolonged downturn in the global diamond market. It is the world's leading producer of diamonds by value. The crisis has been further compounded by cuts to U.S. health funding under President Donald Trump's administration. South Africa's opposition leader Julius Malema has warned African governments against unchecked foreign loans, calling them a debt trap that could mortgage the continent's future. Speaking at the opening of the Nigerian Bar Association's annual general conference in Enugu, he urged tighter oversight of borrowing and greater Pan-African industrial cooperation. Malema noted that his party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, has tabled a bill in South Africa to regulate such loans. The week-long conference, ending August 28, has drawn over 20,000 lawyers and leaders to debate ethics, globalization, governance, and the future of the profession. And the head of Malagasy king killed by French troops during a colonial era war has been formally returned to Madagascar. The handover of King Tora's skull and those of two other members of his court took place at a ceremony at the Culture Ministry in Paris. The skulls have been brought to France at the end of the 19th century and stored at the Museum of Natural History in the French capital. Let's take a very quick break with some of our sponsors. When we come back, we have a new song to premiere, to play. You know, you will like it before we talk about our issues on the show. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5.
Things are on me, with the emergency. How do I manage again?
Potano, why are you sitting here just talking by yourself?
Julie, I need money quick. I want to go find somebody to credit me. Then I will pay them as soon as I get paid with the more in.
EcoBank can credit you, but the only thing you have to pay in 1 month, and the good thing, the interest are just 3%.
For you?
Yeah, just go to any EcoBank branch and you ask for the form to enroll you on their salary advance platform. When they give you the form, you fill it up and you make sure your HR sign it. Then you take that form back to the bank. After you carry it to the bank, they will send you a message to let you know that you're already on the platform. Then you can use the *326# and request for 50% of your salary. Instantly, you will receive it.
Wow, just like that? Pray any tomorrow morning, Judy. I'm going to the bank to pick up the form quick.
Yo, go get the form quick. In less than 1 week, you receive the money. And why I like it for A, and they can't even ask you for collateral set.
I'm going there right now. No wasting time, oh.
I'm not saying you must not go there right now. You must make sure you pay the bank money back.
Hey, Judy, that you talking so, I will pay back quick so I can credit again. EcoBank not easy, oh. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, Mahawa. Have you heard the latest news in town?
No, Yakbawolo, but lay it on my chest.
Well, the good news is that the Liberia Revenue Authority people say you can now pay your taxes in both Liberian and United States dollars. No more forced to pay only in US dollar. We have the options now to pay in LD and USD. Yeah.
Wow, that's good news. So it means no more wahala to change your money to US dollar to go pay your taxes, eh?
Yes, Mama. Now you can choose between any of the two currencies to pay your taxes easily. It's a great step towards transparency and fairness.
But the exchange rate not stable. So what kind of rate do you see for us?
Mama, the LRA people say we will use only the Central Bank of Liberia exchange rate that will be put up when you go pay your taxes that same day.
Oh, then we are good to go. Thank you, LRA. No more worry about changing money to pay our taxes in US dollar. Nobody will eat our eye again. Pay tax. We all enjoy.
Indeed. Welcome. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Let's premiere this song. Every Season is the title of the song, done by William Smith. You remember our brief, man, our Count on Me, man? Well, he is out with something fresh, something powerful as well, something new. Is titled Every Season. Let's hear it.
I don't know what's going on, but I can tell that you want to throw it all the way. I'm here to encourage you to keep trusting. Yeah, keep trusting. I don't know the stories, but I can tell you're hurting. Even when you try to put a smile on your face, I see your tears dry. I honestly don't know why. I'm here to tell you you can't keep your head high. There's no winning every battle that you fight. And there's no calm in every storm wind that blows. There is joy, peace and hope in every season. Trust in Jesus. Trust in Jesus.
There's a win in every battle you fight. There's a calm in every storm that blows your way.
Bring all the broken pieces down to the Lord's feet, to the Lord's feet. He is the Father. Put you back together. I'm here to tell you you should never give up. There's a win in every battle that you fight. There's a calm in every storm when that blows. There is joy, peace and hope in every season. Trust in Jesus. Trust in Jesus. There's a win in every battle that you fight.
Yeah.
There is calm in every storm when that blows. There is joy, peace and hope in every season.
There is joy, peace, and hope in every season. Capture it.
Oh, trust in Jesus. There's a win in every battle that you fight. There's a calm in every storm and wind that blows. There is joy, peace and hope in every season. Trust in Jesus.
Yeah.
Trust in Jesus.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Trust in Jesus. Trust in Jesus. Every season, there is something there for you. So just keep trusting. Yep, that's our man, William Smith. It's on YouTube. It's on his page, B. Will Smith. And of course, you will get the song there. Welcome. This is the OK Conversation. So last night we saw quite a game in the Premier League where Newcastle and Liverpool fought it out. It was quite a game. It was a beautiful game to watch. Liverpool came out with a 3-2 win, but I mean, it was going down to the wire, and the 16-year-old popped up, almost 17 years old. He popped up and provided the goal that won the game. Sometimes, heartbreaks for Newcastle there. Let's start from Sierra Leone. Let's go there. Please put up the first one I send you with the name Francis Ben Kaifala. Francis Ben Kaifala is the anti-corruption commissioner for Sierra Leone. Put that up. AB put that up. The one with his name, his post that he made earlier this morning. Let's have that up, and then we have something to say there. Sorry. I hope we are there now. Let's start from Sierra Leone. Let's start from there quickly. My internet looks like it's acting up on this side. So I hope it is up. So he posted this morning, prime property of Mohamed Sheku Toure, who was convicted of corruption in 2022, will be put for public auction on 6th December 2025 to recover huge amount he stole from EDSA. Interested persons to buy should contact the under-sheriff and not ACC. So, So, Mohamed Sheku Toure was convicted in 2022. He was found guilty of corruption in Sierra Leone. This man was found guilty. So his property now in December, they will be auctioning it. That is, apparently he has a very good structure. Very, very nice home. So they're going to auction it. So to auction it means someone can say, I can pay 1 million for this house. I pay 2 million. I can pay 500,000. Then they'll look, perhaps the highest bidder will get it. Put the next one up, which is the stuff itself from the court, the state, in the High Court of Sierra Leone, between the state plaintiff applicant and Mohamed Sheku Toure, defendant responded. I shall offer sale and will sell. Public auction on the spot. At 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, the 6th day of December 2025, all that piece or parcel of land and hereditaments sit with lying and being legal thing, being at 404, that's 4A over 4 June Street, Kissy Village, East Freetown, in the western area of the Republic of Sierra Leone, measuring approximately 0.0602 acres or 0.7 town lots. Conditions of sale. 1. The higher bidder shall be declared and shall be the purchaser, and he or she signed the bidding memorandum after declaration. 2. The purchaser shall pay to the undersheriff 1/2 of the purchase money on the spot, and the balance thereof at the office of the undersheriff not later than noon on the 7th day after date of sale. 3. The undersheriff shall be at liberty to rescind the contract of sale if the purchaser failed to comply with any of the stipulations and conditions above recited. 4. The sale will be subjected to reserved price. For further particulars, blah, blah, blah. So that is that. So the court has ruled. Yeah, the man has been found guilty of stealing some plenty of money. So for the government to get the money back, they can't get the money from him. Yeah? They can't get the money from the man. He doesn't have it again. So since he can't pay back, it was said they will auction his property to get the money back. So, for example, if a former official, current official, way back official of government was found guilty, then I'm knee-jecting you. If the person was found guilty of stealing, okay, so it was found, if you're found guilty of stealing and perhaps you stole $1 million or $2 million, and they can't get the money out of you. You have a home, well, then the auction it, someone buys it so that the government can get some of the money back from the people. We hope to see some of those things happening. The other day, last week, I'm just running over some things quickly so we come to our main discussion points. I was talking about the two sides of loyalty. We have seen post of a lady who was in the Bandersville area, a very passionate, strong supporter of the rescue mission. I knew her, as a matter of fact, and of course I met her in 2022 when I think President Bwaka is now president, but then candidate, political leader. Bwaka's birthday was being celebrated by Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence and the people of Bassa. She was there. She was in charge of the catering, the food affair. She was taking care of President Bwaka's food. I'm saying president, he's president now, so that's why I'm saying it. She was taking care of his food. I mean, maximum protection, no breeze could pass near it, no breeze whatsoever. I saw the camaraderie. I think she was working with Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence at the time. Yeah, very strong supporter, very clear, strong supporter. President called her his doctor. They were laughing, they were lecturing. He and I had a brief conversation and all that stuff. So I was there, and I know how deeply entrenched they were and how she adored and revered him. And then he won. I don't know whether she was that close again or not. I don't know. I cannot say. But one thing that we know is that on August 6th, she had posted that to all my friends, brothers and sisters, family well wishers, I am not okay. Please don't let me die and leave my kids. Please don't let something happen to me before you come and help my children. Help me now while I am alive, not when I am no more. That was on August 6th, and then she passed off last week. I don't know if the help that she needed came. She's not alive to say, oh yes, it came out. It did not come. But as she went public this way, and I've seen posts from other United partisans that they failed their friend. They may not have done well and all of that. I know there's a July post that people are sharing where she was thanking Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence for being of some level of help for her ailment. But that was July. In August, apparently the situation still persisted. I understand it even went to issues of rent and all of that, which could have compounded what the situations were. And then she died. So over a month ago, we've been talking about the issues of a young guy who used to call here, Samuel Kekula. Everybody knows from Weird Time to present how he defends the government, his party, how passionate he is. He's the only man who has a trademark when he calls you. How you have to speak to when President Bwaka was in opposition. He would say, Ambassador Bwaka. You will speak to him first before you talk. As president, say President Bwaka. He will speak first to President Bwaka before he says whatever. He came to the discourse with sense and all of that. I talked about it and there was no help, and he kept messaging me. He kept saying to me, since nothing has happened, well, so I decided, let me go the other way. Let me go to social media. So I posted about him yesterday, and people have been asking for his number. So we will see what happens. But loyalty has two sides, and sometimes it is important to try to be of help to people. It doesn't mean when you help people, then they will not die, or then something will not happen, or whatsoever. But it is the fact that when people give their all, sometimes it's important to look that way. Yeah, I understand. To run a country is tough. I always say it's not as we see it, the way we see things. That's not how it is. To run country is harder. All these things you see people doing in opposition. Yeah. Okay. To run country how? To run country is a very difficult thing. And people overlook it. When you're in opposition, it can be easy. It's like, oh, this one is not happening. This one is happening. This one is not happening. And then you get there, and everything comes back at you so strongly, and sometimes it's not easy. We played a full clip of Information Minister Jeremy Pierre, right? Say, hey, to go somewhere to do that, they wonder why. Say, because you government official, you can't do that. But how they were doing, make that to appear other people, government official, when they travel, they don't sort of go buy anything. They don't sort of dress. They're not supposed to eat. Yeah. The kind of deceptive politics people can play in opposition. When it comes back, when it comes back to haunt you, you say, "Oh, why the people here this and that?" No, but don't play it too. That's what's supposed to be here to remind you. Yeah. So please try and show some care, some support for. You can't do it for everybody. We understand that, but in many instances, there are people who are very involved. Now. So all of the top people in the country were not at the celebrations of the Flag Day. The president, the vice president, the speaker, the pro tem, the chief justice. Well, the pro tem office has issued a statement that she was not in attendance because she's out of the country. She's attending the Bassa People big program, big international program in the U.S. She's attending that. That's why she wasn't there. The other offices, we haven't heard why they weren't there, but it was concerning. It is not too often that all the 5 top level people in the country will not attend a major national event. It hardly ever happens. So that's why people have been raising their eyebrows. Why all of them were not there? So we now know one of the people has spoken that she's out of the country. Perhaps we'll hear from the other people's offices. Perhaps we will not hear from their offices. Whatever the case is, we know that they were not there. And they owe it to the Liberian people to say why they were not there. Why wasn't the president there? The government got to say it. The vice president doesn't really need to say why he wasn't there because unless now that his boss was not there, it is anticipated that if the president is not there, the vice president will be there. So at this point, the two of them got to talk. Why president was not there? Why vice president didn't represent? The speaker office too has to say, and then the other people. So NEMO Partners for Democratic Development has urged President Joseph Newman Boaka's government to move swiftly from rhetoric to action by establishing the local government fiscal board and implementing the revenue sharing regulations. Hopefully we can have them here next week and talk about that. A very veteran Liberian journalist, a big brother. Pape, more than big brother. Man, I'm big brother to me. Man, Pape to me. At least the people in their 40s, we can call them big brother. Man, I'm big brother. Pape. Aaron Colley. He says, at this critical juncture in Liberia, there is an urgency for a meeting of the minds involving President Joseph Newman Boakai, former presidents Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and George Manawea on Liberia's welfare and well-being to be expanded going forward. He believes this is important, that it needs to happen. I know people have called for this over and over again. I've seen the president having 1 or 2 visitations with the former president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I've not seen that with former President Weah. I think there are 3 of them. I think besides them, there are people, there are knowledgeable elders in the land, the likes of Tipote. They are still around. The likes of Sister Mary Lorraine. They are here. We are not short of brains. There are a whole lot of people that I may not know. There are very old, knowledgeable people who follow this show. I know that for a fact. They may not talk, they may not say anything, but they are here, and people know that they are here. There are people who were ambassadors before, people who were ministers, people who were, that kind of meeting of the minds, those kinds of things. I think, it's important for them to sort of happen. Besides that, it is actually about the running of the state. The state machinery has to ensure that it is running as it should run. Mistakes will be made, but certain major things need to happen. And the truth is, whether you want to agree or you want to sugarcoat, the fact that the president himself will note prices and the increment in prices, that should tell you it is more serious. For a president to admit that kind of thing should mean that it is really very, very obviously serious. The hardship. Usually governments will not admit. Things will be happening, they will still want to sugarcoat. But that is the reality. There is hardship. Things are tough. Generally. Yeah, for people who are gainfully employed, making big money, even they will tell you it's tough because they themselves may feel the level and the amount of letters that come to them, the requests for support, all of those things will tell you that, so we'll see how that plays out. So we also know now that the CDC has set up a committee, in life. So that people can relax. People can relax. Sometimes some things really have to happen to move you. It's always the case in life. You got to go through some tough things to move you to do what you are supposed to do. All of the arguments, all of the discussions and whatsoever, everything else, who right or who is not right, or who got land or who doesn't have land, and all that stuff. The most significant thing is, and I have always argued, political parties in Liberia have to become more innovative. They gotta be, let me use the other word, more creative. They got to ensure that their political institutions are owned by you, the partisans, that you have a stake. You have to buy into the vision. You have to support what happens. You have to ensure the sustainability. And this will require an imaginative, innovative, creative thinking on the spot and thinking for the short to long-term kinds of leaderships that go beyond just the regular critiquing out of government, relaxing when you're in government. Because whether you like it or not, you play the politics, it is shameful for them, the Unity Party, the CDC, the Liberty Party, and all these parties that are not necessarily grounded in terms of having their beyond headquarters a sustainability plan. If they're out of government, why is it easy that when they're out of government, boom, then they put them out? Some of them cannot pay rent, like in the case of the UP, they were owing until recently. I understand that they have paid off the Bernards, and I know that there are discussions ongoing to buy that property now up there, Congo Town. The CDC back and forth with no, McLean's. The UP is McLean's. CDC people with Bernards and them stuff. Yeah, the McLean's. Then CDC back and forth until it led to evasion, demolition. Yeah, so you could have the headquarters. They could, but they have to ensure that these are lands now that are without issues. You can't just buy land too, because in the case of the CDC, it is possible they could have bought that land and it could have been for somebody else, and they built anything that it was still going to be demolished. So you have to ensure, first of all, that where you're having is land that is unencumbered, that doesn't have issues. that it is yours. You can have the headquarters in the counties and all of that, because that's why Eugene Angbe said yesterday that they have to do. But do you think about getting into agriculture, into transportation, into housing kind of thing? Something that brings in more income. How do you ensure that your partisans are paying the $1 for what they are able to do? Some people will be able to pay $5 every month, $10 every month, $50 every month, depending on their capacity and all those kinds of things. Now, how can they trust that their money they put in there? Because the people who work in the secretariat, who do the day-to-day activities of the party for it to run, they need money to make it run. That's why when people win power, boom, everybody wants job. Even the Secretary General, the chairman, everybody wants job in the government, because nothing, the party has nothing. It really doesn't have anything. Secretary General and chairman of party should be paid at the level of ministers in government. Then they will not think about wanting to be minister. They will run the party. Yeah. The party should be able to have a major say in the governance of the country, but in many instances, no. So there are deeper things that we just gloss over with the propaganda and all that stuff. But anything, no, it doesn't answer the real questions of innovations. Yeah? Yeah, so they've constituted a committee headed by former Speaker Funati Kofa and others. And they say between now and a year, they can deliver their new HQ, and then they will also be doing the county ones and all of that. That is a good thing. However, it has to go beyond that. It has to go beyond that. Finally, I don't know whether my people didn't bring this thing here. But Senator Samuel Koga, it's not happy. He's not holding back. It seems something doesn't seem right with him and the vice president. We've not heard from the vice president's office. I'm not sure we will hear from there as we may want to hear. Yeah, but it doesn't look okay. So let's listen to a portion of this. I will endeavor, I will try and see if we can bring him here as well to ask some questions. But this is him.
But my disappointment is, number one, that the vice president often tell me, since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? 0. Every appointment in Nima County was done by him. Zero. I don't want to name names. He and I will discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I don't talk on it. Because he listening to the people that gossiping to him, that Koga will fire you. But he not looking at the time he himself became representative, what we used to do together. But people now who want to get close proximity to him, he listening to them move. That's the situation today. Look at what happened in District number 5. If my brother sincerely want to work with me, he's not listening to gossiper. And we're working in harmony with respect to each other. You don't think he's supposed to call me and say, my man, the election here, why you're thinking? Because you are the one over there. Anybody that regular man, I will declare support for that person. It's a dumb deal for me to knock my chest in the district and say, we'll carry the person. And the vice president said, no objection. The senator who came from there, the senator of the county said that the person, one a party mandate will support the person. But on the contrary, that we agree on something, you deviated from it. Those of you that say that are young folks over there, if I had gone already to challenge that I will support the Gosi Mekwa,
by all means. Or I will support Koto Boribadi by all means. Openly declare, and he is supporting Koto. How the world will look at us. So as an elderly person, I decided to waive everything and say I will not do it. I will be neutral. My neutrality was based on endurance, but I was hurt and felt disgrace in my own district. So I'm not against him, but he doesn't want to lead the neck of Nima County. When you are elected as a senator, it is a full responsibility to take charge of the country. Not vice president, not president. Do you guys want me to sit so proudly and be happy when this such a thing is going on? Then what made me senator? Even the party that the old man left with all, may so rest in peace. I'm looking there like an ostracized person. You need to dignify me. You want to tell me I'm not organized? Why you think the Liverpool elected me as a senator? And that respect is not given to me. But for now, I'm looking up to the president because I told him my dissatisfaction. If he look into it, fine. If he doesn't look into it, fine. I don't back and blow. And in my life, I would never honor anybody in my life. When you do me wrong, I'll tell you straight. You like it, you take it. You don't like it, you want to go. You want to reconcile, we reconcile.
Okay. 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 There are. It was over an hour interview, and he said a whole lot of things. Let's hear here.
But this senatorial election, I want you contest. Even if you don't win, contest. I left from there. He blessed me. He prayed over me, and I left. He went to come and told the vice president that I will support Kuga because I don't want my people by home to look at me otherwise. I don't know where my old age will go. The Kun said, okay, no problem. I will support Yang. That election win. When I was defeated, I never waited for the election result. I conceded defeat because of peace. The Senator Johnson today, may his soul rest in peace. If I succeed him, it is my belief that the fact that Senator Johnson stood back Vice President Kun to me today to become Vice President, to me representative, to me senator, to me Vice President today. If I go against Kun, it means I'm going against Senator Johnson. That's how I look at things to be. And how I took him to be, number one, he's my nephew. Number two, he's my little brother. Number three, he's our president now, vice president of the country. But my disappointment.
Okay, so it's a whole lot. So the growing discontent is there. There is another major issue about the school that the senator left back. We'll talk about that tomorrow. He believes the vice president, according to him, is holding the county by the neck. He's not leaving it. There is something that is not clear about MDR and where they are. I see them being angry at Reverend Luther Tapper, Unity Party chairman, for saying the two major parties are CDC and UP, the others are helping her. Now, United Party people believe Jeremiah Kun, the vice president, is a member of UP because for you to be a running mate in UP, their constitution is clear, you got to join them, right? MDR people believe Kun is their political leader, even though they will say, oh, the men are United Party men. But he literally, and how you want to say, runs the affairs of MDR. He has the influence to make things that happen. So apparently he's the only man who is of two political parties and very powerful in the two political institutions. It is something that has to be made clear. Koga is kind of like, even in the MDR, I look like an outsider looking in, you know. Kun is a unity party man, but he literally caused the shots. The guy who ran on the MDR ticket was Kun's interest. Koga is not happy because that is his district, and he feels that he was supposed to be the determining factor to say, okay, I'm the one leaving this post. Let me be able to say who should replace me. Let it be me recommending someone and not an imposition, allegedly, by the vice president. And MDR sided with, according to him, what the vice president wanted. Hopefully we can hear from MDR. Maybe we can bring them in. But it's not, we got to bring the MDR people in. This whole thing about the vice president, where is he? You know? All in all, sometimes it is better for these things to happen early. So, for example, if there are issues, the issues of appointment, he thinks that everybody who is appointed from the county is allegedly, again, only through the vice president. He's not making any recommendations whatsoever. If he makes recommendations, they are not considered. He thinks that gossips are coming in between. The person who gossips is a gossip too, right? So a gossip gossips. So he believes that gossips are coming in between him and Jeremiah Kun, and these gossips are making Jeremiah Kun to think that Koga will fight Jeremiah Kun and all that stuff. He feels ostracized and all of that. So sometimes it's okay to happen. So the vice president could look at it and see how they could mend fences or whatsoever and see how to approach it. But if you allow these kinds of fault lines to develop deeper into Kratos, then it may not be good for the vice president himself in terms of the kind of Nimba unity that he would need for whatever future, whatever it is, until we can hear from him as well. But I think these are issues that can be handled. They were trying to hold it within and all, and nothing was happening. But it is good that Koga has expressed how he feels. Hopefully, they can reconcile them. But let's take some calls. 777 as our guests come in. 777-700-995, 555-995, the numbers to call, and you will be through. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Welcome. Let's hear you. No.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, people, good afternoon.
Yes, what's the name? Where are you calling from?
All right, this is Momo. I'm calling from Fiamma.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say thanks for your great analysis this afternoon. Yeah, I really enjoy you every time because when you're not counting show back and be segment.
Yeah, sorry, leave that one. Just go to the point.
Yeah. Yes, to our country, at least our leader, it is got time for us to put all our differences aside. Because people is very interesting. In the morning politics, this time we sit on put video on in the net. This time in the net, just say once you decide to put video on, no in the team again. The only video is in the brother in the net. At least you can listen to good thing at OGF. But all the other videos in the net, social politics, social media politics. So I leave the politics, let's put it aside, like bro, put the country first. We try to build the country. That's why the political differences, or let like bro be the first. Let the way OGF pushing it a general like bro. Thank you.
Thanks so kindly as well. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius. My name is Isaac Wuzin, the first because son of you. I'm joining you this afternoon from my resident in Joe community. Julius, I want to say thank you to you for analysis. But you know, I'm a follower and lover of CDC and that of former president. Yeah, but to be blank with the CDC bonder when it comes to this issue of party hair color. Like you already said, none of this in the 21st century, political parties should be owner of their land. They should not even be renting again. But all of the other parties like bro have been facing such conditions that CC have faced in the past day. I think all political parties should learn from it. As a lover of CDC and follower of CDC, CDC Bruno couldn't even leave the land. The issue of the NEMA Center and the vice president. I believe the vice president is just being insecure because he has some bigger political ambition ahead of him. So, like you said,
hello. I think you're going over, my man. Let's take the next person. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Julius. This is it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'll call you this time around Pinville. Julius, let me commend you. You know already what made me to call is the young man that you were talking about from Brownsville, Kepler. You know, I was sitting just imagine to say people now know the struggle that you can pass through when you defending government. Some of you know about our story, so it need to be told that much. When you are defending a government, particularly that government in power, they will be thinking saying you will be supported highly by the people that are in government. The not in Liberia, my brother, is on the opposite. Particularly for some of us, the one that we pass through. It's just because of the party that we belong to, we love the party. Some of us, nobody forced us to join the party. We went there on our own. That's why I can't be disappointed in anything that to say for CBC because
in his case now, people have been asking for the numbers. I am waiting yet to see what will happen. You know, so in terms of what he will receive before.
I'm appealing to the Unity Party people. If one or two parties in government can help that young man, then they help. It will not be like the way some of us were defending people thought that we have money or the government supporting us. It was on the opposite. Particularly BP people that knew us. When they go in cabinet meeting, they talking about us, discussing us. So people, when they leave from them, when they come, telephone call will be coming from all over. Oh, they say, my man, don't forget about all. The other minister can talk about you. And one day, I know even there, 1 hour on the oldest minister, and today I will say it. The oldest minister, during the twice, I mean the 6 years, the oldest minister that talked to and called me and tell me, say, you're welcome to my house. You can come and visit me. I just let to go to people's house. That's all. It was the final minister. Talk to and call me. He said, I want to see you because the thing that you do for the party, we do not have anything to give you. But I just want to see you and tell you thank you. Besides Mr. Tue, nobody, even you say you do anything, they will never take phone to call to check on you to say, oh, we never hear you, what's going on with you? Like, you people will be calling some of us to say, my man, we hear you, what's going on? You are the only one used to be concerned about all. So I just want to say this to the Unity Party people, you must not come and stop us from the young people that behind you.
Okay.
You have to help that name, that young man.
Thanks so kindly. 3 more calls. Then we'll go to our guests. Let's see who is right here. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
The Aeroplane here. All right. Let me start off quick with Samuel Kefula and ZP way. ZZ went through similar fate like what is happening to Samuel Kefula. Simply because in this country, politicians are notoriously known for their short memories, which is very, very wrong. In my own case, do you know that we won the election in 2018, right? I was appointed October 2021. Look, you sitting in the community and people laughing at you. They won't say he was top official, one of you. So you see, when I see people laughing at David Quaid, Nangwe, and the rest of them, I talk to David. I say, hey, listen, hang in there. Because I know when you sacrifice for something, you need a return. But these things happen. On the issue of the senator, let Senator Koga stop crying. I mean, let him take a cry somewhere. I think Senator Koga is so obsessed with power. In no time, the senator has been elected to the position right now, as we speak. Conflict is in the MDR. Because the senator thought that by replacing the falling Senator Prince Johnson, You have assumed the authority of the country and that of the.
Well, that's the argument the man is making. That the senator is for the county, but he thinks if the vice president has a stranglehold on the county, the vice president is a UP man, but he influences stuff in MDR. Where is he positioned?
Does he think the boys, my friends from NDR, like Matadi, go check Matadi made a post accusing him of the same cooker. You think Matadi and the rest of the guys are stupid? No, the boys are not insensitive because they understand one thing. The vice president is the second most powerful person in the country. Should I liaise with the vice president or liaise with a senator that's only responsible and restricted to our county?
Okay, thanks so kindly. Interesting there. Welcome. The second to last caller.
David, could my name?
Go ahead, sir.
It says, okay, we talked through today, and I like that. You know, you mentioned something which I think is a solution to this problem. It is not possible for any party that has taken power to give job to everybody. Not possible.
No, never.
But it's not possible, not even in America. But what you mentioned today, I think officials of political parties should start thinking about it. In other places like Nigeria and Ghana, I'm sure they're doing it. Let us have some farms and businesses running where when we win, our partisans don't all have to run to government job. They can run to the plantation that we have, the cocoa farm, the rice farm, and other businesses. They can even run those things. And we can live from them. But to say a political party will support everybody, no. And on the other issue concerning whoever is in, I don't remember the guy's name. I hope somebody can help.
Samuel Kekula. Yeah, I know people have been asking for his numbers. The reason why I'm not going to say who has done what or will do what is because we are talking about between $4,000 to $5,000 that he lost. So if you just can say, oh, the other boy get a small one, the other boy other people feel that they're definitely getting what he's supposed to get. So no.
You're right.
Yeah, I'll hold on all the information until next week. I'm sure by next week things should be okay.
Yeah, I think so. But please, this information that you just gave today, I'm sure if people really get serious and do something about it, parties got to have businesses.
Okay.
Everybody can go to government.
Thanks so kindly. The final one, quickly.
Julius, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Well, Julius, I think my name is Focus Wilson, Julius from the Southeast. And I do not want to explain my own story.
What kind of own story? You are working in the office of the protest. You say your own story. You all be working protest office. You can talk about own story.
Julia, I got attracted to Senator Abachi as a result of my own talent and gift that God gave me. I knew Senator Abachi before.
Which one? Speaking PB English?
So, none about speaking PB. Julia, let me tell you one thing. We understand the frustration politicians give young people, and that's why we encourage young people not to be used as a stooge or stooges. Young people should have their own plan. I mean, it was even amazed, it was surprised that CBC have denied me. I said, active party secretary in Moswara chapter after Emmanuel Rousing got suspended in Moswara here. Now that as self-individual in CBC, Mamba Malu, President Weah at his residence, if we trust that I will deny, I will rob out of the party ticket on no individual in Grand County. And that's why if you see somehow we are rejecting, people say, look, we tired projecting the big brothers. They have no good intention for us. Their intention for us is just to use us, dash off, make us frustrated, and our family live, or they feel happy about it. Okay, Julia. So I'm understanding whether young man actually comes. But again, it's a lesson learned. I think some of them will use that as an experience, or use some of our experience to be able to understand what happened. Again, Julia, it is unfair. I think if young people labor, like difficulties here, if we cannot put them in the government, we should create the atmosphere where they can be self-sustaining and self-dependent. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks so kindly as well. This quick break as we go over to our guests now. This discussion will continue on tomorrow.
Your favorite RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes, as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770-533-415 or email us at reservations@kendejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkendejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating.
Welcome. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We have with us Dr. James D.K. Gote, Director of Pharmacovigilance and Clinical Trials Department at the LMHRA, Liberia Medical and Health Regulatory Authority. Is that it? Welcome, Dr. James Gote.
Thank you.
You just focus on the microphone. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Julius.
How is life going? How is the LMHRA?
We are there playing our role as citizens of the country and professional.
And as officials of government, you way beyond being citizens. You are official.
We are there contributing our quota to the republic and our professional role. As you said, I'm Dr. James Gote. I'm the Director for Pharmacovigilance and Clinical Trials at the Liberian Medicines and Health Products Regulatory Authority. And in my capacity, I serve as the lead for medicine safety monitoring in the country.
We also have with us Dr. Julius D. Kekula, Manager Clinical Trials and Pharmacovigilance Department at the LMHRA.
Yeah, you got it right. Julius D. Kekula. Julius.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is life going? You can just bring the microphone up a little bit more.
Well, we are grateful to God for life and the opportunity to serve our nation in the capacity we find ourselves in.
Okay, now, I understand you have something coming up titled the Stakeholders Conference on Pharmacovigilance and Clinical Trials. First of all, we need these two words to be broken down. Pharmacovigilance, clinical trials. Pharmacovigilance. Let's start with pharmacovigilance.
Oh, thank you, Julius. So, the word pharmacovigilance, in a nutshell, is watching over medicines. When it comes to divide or the word into the prefix and suffix, pharmaco means medicines, and vigilance, as we all use, watching over the medicine that you use. Because as we understand, we know from practice and studies, no medicine is 100% safe of side effects and other reactions that are either harmful or either contributing to the process. So that's why we always have to watch over the medication that we take. So it is important that we keep the public informed that in as much that you depend on medication to save your life, you also got to watch over the other effects, adversities that could come up. So that's the reason why we always want to inform the public to report on adverse drug reactions, because that's the major things that come up when you take medicine. So for side effects.
So break that down. Adverse drug reaction. I understand it, but break it down for the public.
Yeah, so when I say adverse drug reactions, like for example, you go to the hospital. At first, we have chloroquine in this country as our first line treatment for malaria, right? So we saw that there was a reaction associated with that drug. Every time the doctor would tell you when you take the medicine, it will itch your skin. So those are some of the reactions. But you know that as a side effect, but it could lead to other serious situations that would lead to hospitalization. So in that light, leading from side effect that is known from clinical trials, because he will talk more about clinical trials. So before a medicine is being produced, I will go through a series of testing and other processes. So in that process, you have less population that are being used for those kind of studies. So information coming from there about the particular medication will not be sufficient because you will be looking at the limited number of persons that you're using and the time involved. So therefore, those pieces of information that come up from the study, you will call them side effects because they are known, they are associated with the use of the product. But there are others that we call the adverse reaction. If you are taking the medication, you know that your skin is supposed to itch. But at the end, you see that rashes that's coming there where you have a bump on your skin. That means that side effect now is transitioning to a more negative form. So that's why we call it side effect. So, and that could lead to a hospitalization, and the process could be severe, which is intensified, and the process could be serious. It will either end up into death, it will either end up into prolonged disability, like some people they get blind from medication because they don't report it, so they don't know. Sometimes people get deaf, they don't hear from some of the use of some of the medication that we're talking about. So those are just brief information that we want to provide. As we go further, we'll provide more details.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Kakula, and then clinical trials.
Well, thank you so much for this platform that we can use to educate the public and about basic working of the LMHRA.
You need to speak a little louder.
And other activities. So talking about clinical trials, the LMHRA is established to provide what we call clinical trial oversight. We don't conduct clinical trials, rather we provide oversight on people who are or institutions that are performing clinical trials in Liberia. And the process of clinical trials involve, okay, thank you. The process of clinical trials involve conducting research to try medications to ensure that they are safe for human use, and then to watch out for all of those negative signs that he just talked about. And once that qualify, it then enters the market for people to use. So in a nutshell, just trying to describe it for an ordinary person what a clinical trial looks like.
So have we had clinical trials in Liberia before?
Oh yes, the likes of Prevail. If you hear Prevail, when you heard Ebola, in fact, the vaccine that is being used for Ebola was tried in Liberia. So the process of trying, because that was a new medication or what we want to say biologicals that was used, so they have to try it. They have to see the safety profile of that. They got to see whether human being tolerated, and then they have to see if it was okay, if it would prevent people from contacting the virus disease. So that process is an entire long processes that take a long period of time. So you have to monitor all of the processes that are involved, the activities that are involved, to ensure that, hey, the data that is coming out of there is of good scientific quality. The patients that are participating in that, they are safe, and then the outcome of that is effective enough for you to allow to get onto the market for people to take. So that's the process in a nutshell. That's what clinical trial looks like. So the institution that conduct that, we provide supervisory role, what we call oversight on clinical trials in Liberia.
So we understand you have this conference coming up between the 1st and 5th of September 1 to the 5th, 2025, under the theme Medicine, Safety Monitoring and Clinical Trial Oversight in Emerging Regulatory System. Tell us the overview, since in fact you are
the chairperson.
The chairperson of organizing the conference.
So like the team regularly say, emerging regulatory system. Okay, so all of these countries that regulate medicine in the world, they have this like the FDA. If you hear FDA, Food and Drug Authority. For Liberia, we have Liberia Medicines and Health Product Regulatory Authority. So part of our requirement for that, for our institution, is whenever we develop some new guidelines and regulation, we should call stakeholder meetings. So stakeholders are people that are involved with medication usage, importation, and all of that. So the conference is in two folds. In fact, the activity is in two folds. The conference focuses on our guidelines and regulation that we have developed for, like my boss said, pharmacovigilance, and then also guidelines and regulation that have been reviewed and then modified for clinical trials. That conference bringing together several NMRAs, that is the Medicine Regulatory Agency across Africa, not just West Africa, but across Africa. So the conference focus is on that component. Then another component of that activity is what we call the Joint Good Vigilant Practice Inspection. That inspection is going to be conducted by 6 different countries, including, along with us. We'll be looking at some of our marketing authorization holders, that is those importers that are bringing medication into the country, to look at the safety system that they put into place at their facilities. So we have from the 1st to the 2nd going to be the conference. From the 3rd to the 5th going to be what we call the joint GVP inspection, that the Good Vigilant Practice Inspection.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, how is the institution, Dr. Goethe, how is the institution important to this?
Thank you. Our institution is very important because if you look at the genesis of LMHRA, first we have the Ministry of Health, and part of the Ministry of Health we have the Liberal Pharmacy Board. So by then, the Liberal Pharmacy Board was in charge of regulating medicines in terms of importation, and even have oversight over the practice. Like I said, they are the pharmacists and being licensed by the Pharmacy Board. So between 2007 up to 2009, the proliferation of substance and counterfeit medicines was very high, not just in Liberia but in the West African region. So it's based on that, the need to have reviewed the system and access the market. So it was important at the time. WHO took the lead with other partners. So a report from that was placed to public, to the stakeholders, and then it was realized that for us to have a strong regulation, there is a need for us to establish the Liberian Medicine Health Product Regulatory Authority. So based on that, so we have the Liberian Medicines and Health Product Regulatory Committee around 2009, and in 2010, so the Act now was passed into law by the 52nd legislature and then signed by the president on the 29th of September 2010. So it is important, like if you see from the genesis of pharmacovigilance, started far back from the late 1950s and early 60s. People have been taking drugs, but we are not reporting, even as current. People take drugs, there are reactions, and they don't report it. But around that time, there is a particular drug that was used in pregnant women, especially in Europe, Germany, and other places, called thalidomide. And that drug was given to pregnant women for their morning sickness when they have bad feeding. But they will realize that after some time, all the babies that were born had what we call focomelia. And focomelia is, that means the child didn't either have nose, they didn't have hands, they didn't have legs, and so on. So those were issues that came up. So then scientists decided to launch an investigation to do system review. And they realized that within that period, all the pregnant women that took the medication were affected. Based on that, WHO started to push that there is a need for us to have a stringent regulatory processes, like you talk about clinical trials. So if we go for clinical trial, You're not going to just come and say, after a few years, you're going to put medicine on the market. You say we've done some study behind the scene, and which is now public. The results from there is not vetted. So based on all of these findings, that's how WHO decided to say it's important for us to attach seriousness to monitoring the safety of the drugs that are coming on the market. Because like he said, if you look at clinical trial, there will be a trial in animals. You will have some information. You start from stage 1, which is the first phase, few human being, because that's the time the drug is introduced into human being. Coming all the ways to phase 3, where you get marketing authorization. But as phase 4, where pharmacovigilance is most active, is where you have introduced the medication into a very large population in millions. So, like for example, most of the medication we are taking in here in the country, and I've been trying our citizens, I've been trying into other countries. So, but when they are introducing the clinical practice, you now see the reaction, because the number of persons that were involved doing those studies were limited, and the time frame used were also limited. But then to introduce a drug into a clinical practice, then sometimes you see the reality. Like, oh, I've been taking the drug, and drug can react on anybody at any given time, even at a normal dose. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why it is important. You can be taking paracetamol a very long time, but there will be a time you will take that same paracetamol at the same dose you've been taking it, and they're going to react on you.
So this conference, how does it benefit the LMHRA and the country as a whole?
So he will throw more light on it as a chairman. Mm-hmm. It's going to benefit a lot because it's more of like telling our stories. We are doing a lot of work behind the scene, but our stories are not being told. So now, as a country, that's why we are involved a lot of stakeholders, even the very marketing organizations like the importers, and even others, like we have other invitees from the House Committee on the Health, the Health Committee from the Senate, and both the Senate and the House of Representatives, they are also involved. So we're going to have other dignitaries within the country. So like we have the Africa CDC, they are also involved. They are coming, the Senate representatives.
Okay,
he will throw more light on that. So
yeah, while you're answering that, please also add the external invitees and what they are bringing to the conference. Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
So thank you so much. This conference is going to benefit us a lot as an institution. It gave us a platform where we interact and share knowledge with our colleagues from across the sub-region and across Africa as a whole. Regulations and guidelines that we are putting into place is going to be deliberated upon at a broader audience, bringing together both local stakeholders, which is very important for the work we do, the hospitals, the health institutions, the importers, policy makers in the area of health. If, as a matter of fact, the health minister is going to be the keynote speaker for that, so you know exactly what we are referring to. So it's going to benefit us a lot because we'll have the opportunity to share our regulations and guidelines with the public. This is the first version of our PV regulation, our pharmacovigilance regulation. That's the law that governs medicine safety in Liberia. So to have such an audience is a great thing for us. Now let me move on to overview of the invitees, our external participants. So through the sponsorship of the Paul Ehrlich Institute, that is the arm of the Global Health Protection Program from the Ministry of Health for the federal government, Germany, we got support to bring in several African countries, regulatory agencies across Africa. The likes of NAFTA, Ghana FDA, Zimbabwe FDA, Rwanda, Gambia, Sierra Leone. So in total, we have like about 6 different countries, regulatory agencies coming into Liberia for this conference. Additionally to that, we're going to have the Africa CDC that he mentioned. Avaret just confirmed that they'll be saying that's the African Forum for Vaccine Regulation in Africa. Then we're going to have West Africa Health Organization will be represented. Of course, our partners from Paul Ehrlich Institute will be in country. For the inspection, joining us virtually for that inspection will be representative from Pharmacovigilance Department at the World Health Organization headquarters in Geneva. So you know exactly what we are talking about. It's not a child play activity. It is an activity that is very impactful, scientific enough. So what will we be doing? A lot of presentations, scientific presentations on our guidelines and regulations, our what we call how you call this, a memorandum of understanding with some other countries, the likes of our emergency use authorization, wherein when there's a crisis, public health crisis, that the document that we use to evaluate clinical trials and other activities. And then, of course, our reliance policy, which is very important. So as a regulatory agency, we do rely on other institutions. But while the process, you just don't get to say, okay, because Ghana passed this medicine and say it's safe for your country, so you can do that. There must be scientific processes that you go through to also rely on what your colleagues have done. One important thing we want to stress about this is, from the World Health Organization, we have this, what we call global benchmark tools that are being used to assess the capacity or the ability of regulatory agency across the 9 cardinal functions of every NMRA. So there are countries that have gone through this process, that have matured. They got mature to level 1, level 2, level 3, and even level 4. So the likes of NAFDA, that's the first country in Africa that have had double assessment and they pass it all. They will be represented at our both conference and our inspection. The likes of Ghana have acquired maturity level 3 in some of those functions. Some of the functions are gone up to maturity level 4. And while some are there just like us, who are between 1, 2, 3. So we'll all be discussing, sharing knowledge on the work we are doing and how we can, because whatever medication we're taking in Liberia, Julius, it is also in Sierra Leone. It's also for in one of these countries around. So the system that we put into place to regulate or to monitor the safety of these products are the same system our partners countries are also doing. So we're going to be sharing some of those ideas on how we can improve upon those basic things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who is the keynote speaker?
The Minister of Health.
Okay.
She's going to be the keynote speaker for this conference.
When you talk about joint good vigilance practice, GVP inspection, how does it make your work at LMHRA better?
Okay.
Yeah, this is.
Let us clear your whole conference with it and bring other things.
No problem. We said for that. That's what we're here for. Anyway.
So for good vigilance practice, as you said, these are system or processes that WS will use to be able to assess your strength. Like you talk about maturity level, you have maturity level 1. When you are established as an institution, you are at maturity level 1. But building on those who have like a very good system in place, a system that is very responsive. So that's what they use to be able to assess your system or your processes to say, hey, you have reached this level. Like we will be going out in the field. When we say joint, it's not we can go. We have the regulatory oversight to do so as a country. But the reason why we say joint, because our colleagues from other countries will be joining us. So it will not only be LMHI or Liberia going out to do a vigilant inspection. So it will be other countries, 5 or 6 other countries joining Liberia. So that makes the joint good vigilance practice inspection. And what you want to do, you want to assess the safety monitoring processes of the institution. How are they monitoring their product? What are mechanisms put into place to be able to get data on medication that they are distributing to the public? What are messages they're giving to their dispensers to be able to give out to the patient or to the customer whenever they buy medication? Are they encouraging them to say, yeah, when you buy this medication, this will be the side effect, but it showed that you report to us. Let us know if the medicine treat you bad or treat you otherwise than expected. Let us know. So these are all the processes that we're going to be reviewing at the selected facilities. Like you have what we call the pharmacovigilance system master file, which incorporates everything that you need as an institution to be able to monitor your product. Like we always say, the manufacturer is responsible to monitor the product they put out there. But there are a lot of measures they put into place, like we call disclaimer. If a manufacturer manufactures a particular product and say, do not expose this drug into the sun, right? Store it at room temperature, sometimes 25 degrees Celsius. So if you were to buy the same medication, even though when it came it has potency, if you were to buy that same medication in the bucket, so if there are any issues, you will not hold the manufacturer liable because the manufacturer already had disclaimer. The text says do not expose to children. So if you allow exposure to children and children take it and they get affected, you cannot hold the manufacturer liable. So these are pieces of information that we have to review whether the system at the various MAHs have these measures put in place to give to the public. It should not only be LMHRA, the manufacturer or even the importer themselves or the dispenser or distributor themselves should be able to encourage the public to report whatever happened to the patient whenever they take medication. So it's very, very important. So it's not just LMHRA speaking because of our oversight. It's for all of us.
Now, is there anybody sponsoring this event, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, so like I said, the Paul Ehrlich Institute, that's the arm of
Is it in Liberia here?
No. That's what I'm trying to just break down. From Germany. That's the Ministry of Health of Germany have this program called Global Health Protection Program, and a branch under that is the Paul Ehrlich Institute that supported this particular activity. They fly in all our guests, accommodating them, and then taking care of them. And of course, our institution can tapping up what they did, because our parable in Liberia, when somebody washing your body, you might be washing your stomach also. But last year, they supporting this conference to ensure that all the guests are flown in, they are accommodated, and they are well taken care of, and then flown back to their countries, including the activities that we were going to be having.
Okay. Now, pharmacovigilance. Are you really vigilant on medicines coming into the country? Can you say? Okay, let me ask a question. How do people bring medicine in Liberia, and are you sure that every medicine we have here is good, is okay?
So to do that, we have the LMHRA has several functions. That's what I was trying to lay out. Every regulatory agency should have about 9 cardinal functions. You have the registration and evaluation and registration department. So before you bring in medication, paracetamol in the country, let's just say paracetamol, that very common drug that we all talk about, you should be able to register it. Registering it means you bring all the documents that the manufacturer used to produce that particular medicine. That process is assessed. After it's satisfied, sample is taken to the lab for evaluation. When that evaluation is done and it passes that particular process, then you are then issue what we call marketing authorization. So that paper tells you that you, Julius Jet, are brought in, maybe you brought in Julius Mall. Julius Mall in Liberia is being owned by Julius Jet, and only he alone is responsible to sell that medicine in the country. If anything happens, somebody taking that medicine, anything happen, we will hold Julius Jet for that particular. So that's the process for medicine regulation in Liberia. We do have an inspectorate unit. So your question is, what are we really?
Are you doing it?
Are we? Yes, we are doing it. Yeah. So you say because we got policemen in the country, so no rogue in the country. People steal, right?
Mm-hmm. So is it possible that we have fake medicines here? And
yes. Because any medicine that do not go through our regulatory system is considered substandard and falsified. So bringing in medication, it must come through our seaport or our airport. If you smuggle it through the borders with no documentation on how you manufacture, the process assessment, all of that, it is a substandard medication. Imagine all of the borders point that we got around. Somebody can just stand, just join across, you pass through and thing.
Mhm.
So every now and then, our office at the Bow Waterside place always confiscating huge consignment of medication, the likes of these illicit drugs, always comes through some of those areas, tramadol and other things. They always try to smuggle into the country. But that's why we have this this department, the office situated there.
Yeah, before I can come to him, to just wrap up with you, this conference, who is it open to?
It's open to health professionals. In fact, invitations have been sent out to hospitals. Why? Because hospital is one of our key stakeholders. They all use medication. It's been sent out, invitation is open out to importers. We selected a good number of importers that we call them that. Health practitioners from the various institutions, the likes of LMDC, LMDA, the Pharmaceutical Society of Liberia, Pharmacy Bowl, even the University of Liberia, the teaching institution, and organs of the Ministry of Health. Those vertical programs. Why? Because they're using medication, and some of the medication then you have to do a safety monitor of those products. So all across the country, health institutions are being invited. Not everybody, but a good chunk of that. Those institutions are being invited for this conference.
Okay, yeah. we come to you, sir. Still on
being vigilant.
Yeah. What advice can you give the public in terms of how to buy medicine, where to buy medicine, the issue of people passing around with medicines in buckets, and all of that?
It is actually the role of element charity is show that, because if you look at the basis for which element charity was established is to ensure safe, quality, and effective medication within the borders of Liberia. And anybody can fall prey to substandard or unregulated medicines. So what we usually do is to encourage the public to buy from regulated institutions. Do not buy from the bucket. Because if, like I said, if the medicine should be stored at 25 degrees Celsius or then you go put it under the sun, you think you will get at room temperature. And even some of the pharmacy, if you enter the pharmacy where you're already sweating by yourself, it means that the temperature over there is high. So these are things that we do. So like what we're doing here today is part of being about vigilance. We need to inform the public. And like I said, regulation is not only for us that work at the elements area, it's all of us. Because if you don't, you taking the medicines, if you don't also go back to the practitioner to tell the practitioner what happened to you when you took the medication, it becomes difficult for us to have the information to conduct the investigation. So we encourage the public to say, go to the public, go to regulated facilities, go to the pharmacies that have been registered by the Pharmacy Board of Liberia, go to the wholesalers where you're going to buy a wholesale product, go there, those institutions that have been regulated by the LMHRA. Because for traceability, and we also encourage people to say, when you buy medication, it is your right to request for receipt. But most often in our country, we don't ask for receipt because that's for traceability. Somebody, you buy medication, you go back to that shop, and the person will tell you didn't buy the medication for me. But we know at an institution, because we give the importer license and we give the registration license to those institutions. So by the time we see a particular product, we know the particular institution that product is linked to. So that's how we monitor it. So as he said, for us, because we are challenged when it comes to budgetary allotment, a lot of these, I know every institution will talk the same thing or say the same thing. So what we done, we said, officially only the airport, only seaports are recognized. So any medicine coming from, except for emergency purposes, any medicine coming through any border, it has to be authorized by the LMHRA. But looking at our borders, you are a journalist. Looking at our borders, we have a lot of broad borders. So people walk and come through. So if a president, our presidents are not even fail in all of the counties, that's why we're working hard, the administration is working hard to ensure that we have staff deployed and working with the county health teams and through the Ministry of Health to have staff deployed in the various counties so that we do what we call reverse logistics. So we'll keep monitoring, because medicines can react to anybody at any given time, despite you be taking that medication for a very long time. So you cannot say because I've been taking the medicine for the past 10 years, so it means that it can react on me. And in our country, what works for you, somebody may think that it works for the next person, and no two persons are exactly the same. Something could be good for you, but something is not good for me. Like I sit here, I'm allergic to Septrin. I don't take Septrin. So if I take it immediately, I will see the reaction. So that's why it is important for us to keep informing the public. Even though, like what you do at the radio stations, it has to be paid for, but as a national citizen, it's also important. We also plead with you to say, if you just take 10 minutes, or no, not just 10 minutes, just 2 minutes of your time to just say, yeah, report adverse drug reaction. When you take medicine, get any negative reaction, report to the LMHRA so they can launch investigation, so they can make our healthcare system better. Because at the end, everything we do, you can have the best doctor, you can have the best pharmacist, or the best nurses or medical practitioner. If the drug is not safe, if it is not effective, it is not of good quality, that means your education, your effort, everything is being wasted. Because the patient will not get healed, will not stop suffering. And once the patient does not stop suffering, it means that they will find other alternatives. Like we found people on the radio advertising, like somebody will come on the radio and say one product can heal almost all the different disease conditions. How possible it is? So these are information or pieces of information that we want to provide to the public to say, hey, do not buy medicine from the bucket. Go to the nearby pharmacy. If you have any reaction or any side effect, if you take medicine and there are other effects that you did not expect, go to the nearby clinic, go to the nearby hospital, go to the nearby practitioner, or even the very pharmacy you bought that medication from, report that case.
Okay.
Then we will be able to launch an investigation to see what happened.
Let's take a few calls. Hopefully in the near future we can invite you people where we can open the lines for people to interact with you more as about this medicine business. It's a very important thing. So we'll see. We will liaise with the guys and see how we can bring you on for a more detailed discussion just on medicine matter. Yeah, 777-995-555-995-995. Welcome. Let's hear you.
David Cote, my name, and I'll be very brief. Thank you, gentlemen. I have followed the LMHR for a very long time, especially when David Sumo was the head there. You're doing very well. Well, you just touched one of my questions, and I want to ask you what you're doing about it. How possible is it for one man to have a particular medicine that can treat over 90 different illnesses? You are doing well when it comes to regulating drugs. I was with Mr. David Sumo one time when I went to one or two places and took a lot of drugs from drugstores that were expired, and so on. They're doing well. But this thing about somebody sitting in one corner, they announce their names, they got their advertisement on the radio, treating over 90 or 50 or even 40 illnesses. What are you doing about it also? Number two, is it also in your purview to check on doctors who are not only qualified but competent? I have noticed something, and I'm not going to call names yet. Who's responsible? Especially doctors who come from other places with paper. I'm doctor this, I'm doctor that.
Okay. No, that one, I think it is the Medical and Dental Council. Yeah. Yeah, LMDC. Okay. Yeah, thanks so kindly. Let's go international. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius, and good afternoon to the senior conference in studio.
Go ahead. Is this?
My name is pharmacist Edwin Miller, and I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay.
Let me thank the senior colleagues in studio for articulating their points well. I have two quick questions, please. One, I'm concerned about post-marketing surveillance of imported medicines. What strategy does the LMHRA have to ensure that post-marketing surveillance is done regularly, especially in remote areas of the country? And then my second question would be, is there a way or a database that the LMHRA has developed so that people who are experiencing adverse drug effect can be able to report electronically that they don't have to come to LMHRA, but they're able to report it electronically. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Let's squeeze in just 2-3 more. Our next guest is here. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Julia.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to your present studio. I fully faithful and just the voice of acquisition. Yes, I must appreciate the present studio. You know, sometimes it's always good to follow the radio because this is my first time listening to such education that they have provided. But I have a concern, and this is my concern. One of them spoke about the issue of receiving receipts when you are served a drugs from maybe any pharmacy or drugstore nearby. But I want to know from them as to whether those dispensers who we have at the drugstore, are they aware that they are to serve receipts to those that are purchasing from them?
Okay. Thanks so kindly. The final one.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Jerry Taylor, calling from Pinsville. Let me thank the folks in the studio. I think they try. If I say they try, too many things surrounding, medical and the abuses of medicine. So I just want to piggyback on the last comment one of the guys in the studio made when he talked about don't buy medication from the bucket and the rest of it. But that is the end point. Those who buy from the bucket is the end point. What's about it? Because I know there are laws that prohibit selling in buckets. Because first and foremost, this is not a good environment for medication. But you're not stopping them. You're stopping those who are buying, trying to stop those who are buying. It's like selling illicit drugs, like you tell guys who are taking illicit drugs, don't buy illicit drugs. So you allow the sellers to have it.
Okay, so that is those who are selling it around. What are they doing with them?
Yeah, so what we need to do is to stop the sale of medicine in buckets.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Because of time, Charles says, please ask against the quality of drugs in Liberia. Notice that most of the medications we have in Liberia are substandard and ineffective compared to other countries in the region. Do you know that the paracetamol and antibiotics we have in Liberia are different from the ones in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Guinea? I traveled to these countries and noticed that you buy antibiotic medicine and paracetamol in those countries. They are very effective. Unlike Liberia, different kinds of paracetamol medicine and blah, blah, blah. Please ask them why. Okay. Please ask LMHRA about the finicky that our children are taking like paracetamol. There are people dispensing drugs in some pharmacies and drugstores who aren't health practitioners. What is the LMHRA doing to weed them out? My concern has been drawn to the guy selling medicine bucket with using loudspeakers. Please ask our guests, is there explain to getting off the street? And let's come back to you all to quickly run through.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
And this is why it is important to bring you back. Just
yes, we need more time for this kind of discussion.
And then we also encourage you to so that we have our inspectorate to have folks from the pharmacy board.
Yeah, so
we have
I'm inviting you people, the whole crew.
Yeah, they will have a holistic discussion, because like somebody was asking concerning fake credential. For us, we are pharmacists, so we are doctors of pharmacy. So the pharmacy board is responsible to license us for us to practice as pharmacists in the country, and the Liberia Medical and Dental Council is responsible for the medical doctors. So I just wanted to make that clarity. So we have raised some issues, even some of the guys who do the fake advertisement. We have invited some of them to our offices. We confiscated some of these products from them, and then they could not even justify. And even on the internet is also on the increase, where people are advertising products on the internet, but you don't get to see the sources. But we have been fortunate to get some of them. So, but we're still doing more to get to that. So for post-market surveillance, we have the inspectorate department that has post-market surveillance unit, and they go out to do the spot check, and then they do vigilant inspection to be able to. So, but as we always say it, we always complain that low budgetary budget and so on. So, for us to become robust and consistent in implementing most of the activities, we actually need the support because, like the guys who sell the medicines, the drug peddlers who sell the medicine in a bucket, by the time you go to this one community, you raid that community, they will be going to the other side. So what we encourage the public to do, like we're doing now with the drug, with the illicit drug, I think we have to work together as a country, as a community, to be able to report some of the issues so that we work on it holistically, because it's us. Like if you look at one of the issues that are coming up with, we have antimicrobial resistance. Once people are misusing the drug and they are taking the antibiotics or they are taking the medicine for the wrong reason, once you get sick, they go to hospital, sometimes the medicine will not work. So you have resistance to the product. So the whole issue of this adverse drug reactions can lead to a lot of things. They have a lot of sources. Like you have the dispensers. That is not in our purview, but we know that for dispenser, they are made licensed by the Pharmacy Board of Liberia. So, and then we working on a project, like currently we are working on our electronic platform for reporting ADRs. We have our website. So by the time that is tested, we're going to place it on our website. We had it there before, but we try to update it so that we can place it on a website for people to easily report, so that you can even download it on your phone. And even at Administrator, one of the major stuff we're working on is to have our entire system automated. Even like registration process, sometimes you don't have to go there for inspection or other things. So we are working on a lot.
Yeah, you want to add to just a few of it?
Yeah, just a few. As a matter of fact, post-market surveillance is a very crucial part in the work we do. So to be able to do that, we have several regional offices. But again, like my colleague said, we are not present in all of the areas. So what we do, we have region 1, 2, 3, the Nimba belt that takes care of Lofa Bone, and then we have this one from Cape Mount that take care of Bomi, Cape Mount, and Bapulu. So, but again, it requires a lot of resources to establish offices in those areas, because that's the only way we'll be able to fully have a full control of medication especially in the rural areas. My colleagues talk about the ADR database. Yes, we do have a database. In fact, we subscribe to the Center for that, which is in Uppsala, where all ADRs reports are submitted. So as a country, we're developing our own structure so that, again, we can have access to it at all times in the country. Now, the issue of drug peddling is important. Drug peddling is illegal. It's completely wrong. And there are several reasons. Julius, if you bought a paracetamol from a bucket bottle passing around here, if anything goes wrong, how do you trace or track that medication? But if you bought a paracetamol for John Brown Pharmacy that is registered, if there's any situation, we can go to that particular institution, track that particular paracetamol, and if we get the signals that this paracetamol is causing problems around the country, we can be able to ban it from coming into the country. That's why it's so important, but we need time to talk on most of the issues. Let me talk about my conference as we close, because that's why we're
that's what we close.
Yeah, okay. So we want to encourage our colleagues, our invitees. Hey, this conference is an international conference. It's going to be held both face-to-face and virtually. So we need participants to be seated on time, 8:30 at the ministerial complex. Sign in, get seated, because by sharp 9 o'clock, we're starting the conference. People online across the world will be attending this conference virtually. So we encourage everyone. We are writing letters out. We're making follow-up preparation. Everything is into place for this party. This is the biggest we're having in Liberia as a county medicine regulation. Okay. And the first joint pharmacovigilance inspection. So it's not something that we can joke around with. We encourage every participant to be there, seated on time, and let's interact and make good use of this opportunity.
Thanks so kindly, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you.
We sincerely appreciate it. Very soon you get an invite from me.
Yeah, we need that. A full hour where we talk about this, because people don't know our role, what Pharmacy Board does, what LMHRA does, what the other group does. Do. So it's important for us to have this kind of information for the public.
Yeah. That's how we got this quick break. Our next guest is here.
Your favorite RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes, as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770-533-415 or email us at reservations@kennejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkennejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating.
Indeed, welcome. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We have with us Benedict Koluba, former Assistant Minister, Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. He's studying, I believe, for another master's and in Italy. I think he's here on research. He should be going back, if I'm right. Is everything I said correct?
Well, partially I'll be going back. I'll be doing PhD. And then the next time here, me flying back. So yes.
So why you say you're doing research? So after the research,
I'm doing a lot of research, different research on the Liberian economy, which necessarily has nothing to do with.
So you true with your studies in Italy?
Yeah. I'm doing a research, and I'm doing a couple of research by myself. Some of it on the economy, some of it a partnership with some of my colleagues in Turin, but. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't want to undermine some of the old research.
Okay, so you here now.
Yeah. So
okay, good. So
I didn't want to keep giving excuses, but again, like you are always.
Yeah. Few the 45 minutes we have, we can exhaust one or two things.
Yeah.
The Liberian economy currently, how will you describe it?
Well. Before you describe the economy, sometimes I always like to recap and go back.
Yeah, sure. Do that.
The last time I was here, I remember I was talking about the National Development Plan. Mm-hmm. And then I said to you that the economic logic of the plan was flawed. And then the only thing that would prosper in Liberia was poverty. And so, and hardship because of the kind of economic logic that is within the plan, and that hasn't changed. And so right now our economy is stagnated. There is no solution being formed.
Stagnated? The Ministry of Finance, the fiscal authorities are predicting that it is going to go up to a 5-something%.
So I said that here, and one of your panelists labeled me as a village economy. So, Julius, before I get jumping into the economy, I want you to realize that when you're talking about the economy, it's divided into two. The macro, which is the bigger side, and then the macro, which is the smaller side. Economy can grow.
That is the digits. MA and the MR.
Yes. The economy can grow with double digits. You can even have 15% economic growth. A state cannot affect the livelihood of the people. So the economic situation here, the policy is colonial. We have a colonial economic strategy and policy. As a result, it doesn't meet contemporary reality to address the well-being issue of the people. Until that logic is reframed, you can set all the
that means that also bedeviled your administration. It was also a problem you had to deal with.
No, yeah, it was a problem we had to do it, but we had a strategy. Our strategy was quite different from this. And then because there was when we took over, there was a bucket situation, and I talk about the MA and the MR. So to be able to bring about macroeconomic stability, you got to take out the defects in the economy. You got to take out wastages. So that's what we're doing first before you go to the well-being side. And so those are the things we're addressing. But here is the point. The reason why we are where we are is that if you go back to history and play the campaign messages of both the CDC and the UP, you will realize first, the first thing that happened to us is that there was what we call illusory fights. You tell lies to the extent that the lies become truth in the ears of the populace and deceive them, but actually it's a lie. And our colleagues made the problem of this country to appear very simplistic. It looked like it's a simple thing that can be done within the twinkle of an eye. For example, some of the issues that were not very truthful. They were blaming the CDC for the withdrawal of NGOs in this country. They said the country was hard because NGOs were leaving. Companies were not coming because we didn't have the capacity to influence companies to come. Those were just illusory fights, making the people to believe that, look, when CDC leaves, company will come, job will flow. They made the people to believe that, in fact, all of us were going to President Weah's house at Jamaica Resorts and taking in drugs there because he was importing drugs there. They made a population to believe that, in fact, Liberian dollars can be used in Europe or in America. That's the reason why we took 16 billion Liberian dollars from the economy, because if you take 16 billion dollars from here, where are you going to use it? But the population believed those lies because the way it was told. If you look at that foundation now, that the foundation of the government was built on elusive fights, were built on simplest, making the complex problem to appear very simple, that it will be addressed within a twinkle of an eye, then the reality sets in now. With that flawed foundation, let me tell you what happened. The government took over, and the first thing that happened was the government didn't have a vision, they didn't have a plan, they had to do a plan within 1 year. The biggest anchor or foundational anchor of the government was within the CSA. The CSA created a situation that, look, the whole payroll was flawed. The government has employed people who are not qualified. In fact, there was a message around that, look, you know what? There are people who are just on the payroll, they just send money to their account, they take it and carry it to Samuel or they take it and carry it to Jamaica. In fact, the mobile money payment system that we introduced for digital inclusion, it was also connected that way. So the CSA took on a boisterous and showmanship and to build the foundation of the government. On the basis of that, there was an illusion. We'll move all the goods in front of the payroll. We'll save money. And I'll send you some reports. And before we go forward, because of time, anybody who wants to argue or contribute on the show, you are welcome. But here's what I can tell you. One, go and download the CSA 2024 reports, because everything I will say here, I will speak from data. Go and download from the Ministry of Finance the consolidated financial report for 2024. Go and download the May fiscal year report from the Ministry of Finance. You can go to Central Bank and take some of the data from there. So because of that, the CSA has put the government in a position that there is a huge chunk of money still sitting down within payroll, and we are going to take that money from there and invest it and even be able to solve the country problem. In the CSA report...
Is that not the case?
No, is that not? That is completely far from it. In fact, look, I can say for Helen, the most dangerous entity in this regime is not the police, it is the CSA.
Wow.
The CSA is damaging, the CSA is self-destructive, not just to us as opposition, but to the government herself.
How?
Go to the report. Do you have the report?
Yeah.
The CSA in page 10 of that report, the first phrase there, they say the government payroll was $23.4 million. Julia, I'm reading with glasses now, so I have to find my glasses.
Yeah.
So
page 10, they want to say Employee Status Regularization Project, ESRP.
Yeah, the CSA said by October 2024, just 8 months, or not 8 months, the workforce of the government, blah, blah, blah. Here's the interesting thing. reducing government monthly wage bill from $23.5 million to $21.1 million.
Yeah. It is here.
It's clear there, right?
Let me read the full paragraph.
My time going now. I want to go to that sentence.
Yeah, no. Let me so people can get the background.
Okay.
In collaboration with relevant government entities, the ESRP involved a comprehensive review and verification of personnel records across 103 government institutions, focusing on establishing clear and verifiable employment statuses for each civil servant. This standardization of documentation not only reduced the number of ghost workers on the payroll, but also strengthened workforce accountability across the civil service. By October 2024, just under 8 months, the workforce had been streamlined from 67,746 employees to 60,900. That means 7,000 people were put down. This is why it is saying achieving a reduction in the government monthly wage bill from 23.5 million to 21.1 million. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is that correct, right?
Yeah.
That means that the CSA saved, according to them, the CSA saved around $2.4 million from the government wage bill.
By October 2024.
Yeah, by October 2024.
Yes.
It means monthly. Read that. They say every month they were saving $2.4 million. But when they started that saving, it's not clear in this report. So that is why I didn't take 2024 data on that. But if you say the wage bill is $21.1 million per month, Julius, you are generally, you're not a mathematician. Why would you think the wage bill of 2025 will be? It's 12 months in a year, right?
Yeah.
It will be 21.1 multiplied by what?
12.
Do that math for me, I beg you. My only phone may not be okay. I will take my time, even we don't exhaust all, but I want the people to know that the danger we are playing with in this country. 21.1.
Yeah, let me go to this other phone calculator.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 21.1 times 12, right?
Yeah.
So it should be 253.22 million.
So a CSA says, that's why I said the CSA is the most dangerous entity in the country, because it's creating false impression. To defend the CDC government, you say you reduce the wage bill to $21.1 million. So if you multiply that by 12, it means this 2025 wage bill should have been $253.2 million. Instead of this year wage bill being 253.2, the wage bill have been revised, is now $317 million. So minus 253.2 from 317 million.
Where did you get information that it is 317 million?
Go to the Ministry of Finance fiscal maintenance report. You want me to find you the page number?
Yeah, I have the second edition 2025 Library of Financial Statistics.
The maintenance report.
I'm not sure I have the midterm report.
Oh, you don't have the midterm report. Let me find it quick and give you the page number, because what I'm doing, I want the public to see that, look, what these people said they were lying us on, that our people should take pride in the services we provided in this country. So the Ministry of Finance May-year review report is on page 18, and let me read that. Page 18, they say compensation of employees. Original appropriation is $350 million. And then original appropriation percentage, then you go to reallocation. They reallocated around 60,000, and they say the revised is $316 million. So it's $316.5 million. So if you minus 253.2 from 316.5.
Let me do that. 316.5 minus 253.2.
I told you this is on page 18 of
equals 63.3 million difference.
So you're talking about almost a distorted data information of 68 or 60 some more million dollars.
63.3 million.
That is unaccounted for, or you can even call it as addition to the wage bill.
At this point, is it not possible that the wage bill increased despite the CSA saying in 2024 that they have brought it down?
Okay, let me tell you something. This is how the wage bill is. Julius, is you are on a payroll for 12 months, I remove you from on that payroll because you are employed for your lifetime. So your salary is flowing to your lifetime. If I remove you this year and say I'm saving your money is stay there for next year, even though the budget is not being done. So a CSA saved the wage bill and reduced it for $21.1 million. It means that the following year the wage bill will be $21.1 million.
Yeah. So
so how come now?
I agree, but I am saying, is it not possible that there were new employments and all of that?
So that is what makes the CSA the dangerous entity, because you created the impression that the CDC government was dumping people on the payroll. So you have reduced the payroll to be able to find space to do government work.
Okay,
but
I get your point.
In the end, you created that negative perception about us. But in the end, you are dangerously running the payroll.
So in this case,
that got 1 point there. We've not even started the real issues.
I want to divide the 316.5 by 12.
You're talking about
26.3.
So the wage,
that is to say the wage bill is going up from the 21.1 million spoken about by the CSA back up to 26.3, way beyond the 23 million plus.
Way beyond the CDC that they said we destroy the payroll, we destroy the country. We had 23.5 million wage bill. They reduced it to 21. In their mouth, on the paper, is 26. Who is dangerous? Who is destroying this country? I'm not going to stop there. Here's the second point. Go to the CSA report. In the CSA report, the CSA mentioned that on page 26, the CSA mentioned that a save, just within, we call it in year. Within the year, it saved $8.2 million from the payroll cleansing. So this one we're reporting now, it should have affected 2025. But this one, they say they saved $8.2 million. You go to page 25, you will see the annual savings in 2024. Liberian dollar is 131,000 plus. US is $8.2 million. If you put that together at the rate of 180, it's almost $9 million. So meaning that while they were cleaning out in 2024, they saved internally $9 million from the payroll. If you go to the 2025 budget, the compensation was $297 million. If you save $9 million in 2024, it means the consolidated report, go to the consolidated report of 2024. The financial report from the Ministry of Finance says they ended the year with $282 million. Remember, according to them, I want to find that page and read it to you. According to, here's the page 24 of the consolidated account report of 2024. Ministry of Finance says this. 12A, compensation and employees. Expenditure made against employee compensation for 2024 amounted to $282.8 million against the final budget of $296.45 million. Inconsistency in the numbers from the budget down to the reports, of which wages and salary in cash accounted for $97.2 million. The actual fell below the final budget by $13.6 million due to delay in approving additional employment budget for in this year. Minister of Finance didn't say the reason we dropped from 297 to 282 is because CSA cleaned the payroll and took ghost name. Minister of Finance said it's because there was a delay in approving employment. So if you reduce the wage bill by $9 million, this author should be telling us that we actually ended to $290 million. But here, they are telling you they ended at 282. So the whole CSA report is getting a mirage. Let me repeat. If they're not careful, the CSA will dump the entire government. The CSA said they close on mobile money payment at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. We still got mobile money unit there. You cannot be wanting. Go to that report. I want you to go to the CSA report. Let me tell you one of the elementary and moral issues that are there, and you acting like you want to usher your colleague. Go to the page 1. Go to the cover page of that report. Check the date that report was submitted. Look, let me tell you, Kula. Kula, you say the president doesn't listen to radio. please encourage the president to listen to me today. If possible, you carry me to Mika.
On November 25, 2024.
So, Julius, when do you do your yearly report here? The year that 12 months. CSA report that in November. Look, I can tell you the whole of November, there is no data for CSA in our report. For nothing moral making. Because you made Liberia problem to appear very simplistic. That when you get there, you can just solve it. Julius, I can challenge the government, the CSA, anytime, anywhere, before the president. This report, there is not even 20% truth in this report. Because this report is not logical, it's not fact-proven. The Ministry of Finance had to support the CSA. So the numbers between CSA and the Ministry of Finance, I don't even go to the Ministry of Finance, I'm just starting with CSA. The numbers in between there is bad. Ministry of Finance said they ended 282. CSA said they ended with 290. Where are we going?
What do you think is happening? Is it a lack of coordination?
No.
Is it not understanding certain things?
It's not lack of coordination. It is because what you said to the people, you want to prove it at all costs. We call this self-fulfilled prophecy. You say the payroll was blotted. You say people ghost name on the payroll. You got to give a number that you remove the ghost name from the payroll. I have challenged the report. So this is one foundation of our problem. Then it moved into now, because CSA set that foundation, then it moved into the National Development Planning Architecture. This one, I told you first, the economic logic was flawed. Today, I'm telling you, the model of economic policy is colonial.
What does that mean?
It's archaic. It doesn't fit in contemporary reality. You got the arrest agenda?
Yeah, I have it.
Go to Minister Gafon's statement in that agenda. They say they're going to make Liberia a middle income country, which the World Bank has said is not possible in the economic. They didn't say this. The World Bank economic memorandum that was launched in 2024, it said it's not possible. That one is just clear. But here is the troubling part. Minister Gafon wrote in that.
Entities like the World Bank and the IMF are viewed as colonial institutions. So if they say that it is not possible, that does not necessarily mean that Liberia cannot
So
do
if
it.
they are colonial entities, it means they get telling you that we are colonial, we didn't do it. You can't say you do it to make Liberia a middle income country, a lower middle income country, and you are depending on, here's the dangerous thing, you are measuring the success of your country by GDP growth. So you're saying you get one transaction to be going on in the country, as long as people are buying, selling in the country, then the country improving. Whereas, go to Legend's report, go to Central Bank report, whereas our main sector of economic growth, of the economy of GDP growth in this country is in the extractive industry. This is why I make it colonial, because in the extractive industry, this is not where you find the poor people. If you mind, that's why people are crying now. Bring Asla, you can bring another 3 ArcelorMittal in this country here. The country will not develop. How many President ArcelorMittal will employ? When they take the iron ore from there, do you know how much iron ore value leave this country and how much do we get in return? Oh, you want me to take 2 minutes and give you that data?
Yeah, sure, do that.
Okay, give me 2 minutes, I will be finding that data, right? So in the extractive industry account for almost 95% of exports. Well, they contribute less than 18% of revenue to government. You cannot build your economic logic on that kind of foundation. So today the hardship is here because, one, I'm going to be very simple with this. Liberia doesn't own United States dollars, but we trade in United States dollars. Because we don't own and there is no US dollar sitting within the Liberian economy, people are always looking for the US dollar. So they compute for it. That the both people, they came and did not know that. Because they are computing for the US, the smaller one are there, so the rate will always go up. I listened to Mr. Gafon before, he said it was seasonal, same last year, December. But it keeps going up. If you go into the 2025 budget, the technical thing at Ministry of Finance told the policymakers that the US rate will depreciate. But the policymakers, they didn't provide policy prescription to say, yes, these are the actions we will take. They said the Liberian naira will depreciate up to 209. So, because ArcelorMittal, the rest of the people export their iron ore in a simplistic way, they sell the iron ore out of this country here. The US dollar that they are gaining from selling the iron ore, it doesn't come within the Liberian economy. The US dollar stay offshore in the Liberian economy. So it put pressures on the small US dollar we have here, and everybody computing for it. There is no policy prescription for the government to be able to solve that problem. I'm not going to tell them what the prescription are. Let me tell the Vice President. Mr. Vice President, this is a dangerous trap you are setting over for them to tell you to head a team that will talk about the prices on the Liberian market. Because the people who lay your national development plan build a foundation of colonial and flawed economic logic. It is affecting the Liberian economy. You cannot solve it with magic and say, your core down prior do that. You cannot solve it. You need to overhaul the entire economic management thing and redo your national development architecture.
Okay. We have Josiah Jokai, the head of the CSA. Since he was mentioned.
I don't have problem.
Yeah, let's hear from him. Welcome, Mr. It's the Director General of the CSA.
Julius, I beg you, man, you don't know my title. It's Director General.
The guy as Director General, Director, Executive Director, General, I know all the kind of things.
Civil Service Agency is Director General. Julius,
okay,
how are you? How you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Mr. Koluba is in studio.
So Julius, yes, I just came out of a meeting and I got in the car and then I heard Benedict trying to provide some so-called analysis. First, I want to say
no. First of all, no, sir. Let's be respectful in the conversation. I will not want him to say that whatever you say will be so-called and blah blah blah. Let's just provide your side without the name calling, please.
Oh, hold on, Julius. I hope you understand when you say so-called. So-called is not any form of insult or disrespect. It's a word to use to describe a situation. So that's simple. Let's take care of that. But it's so-called because it is erroneous, the information he provided, and it has no basis. I think it's completely shallow. Look, in the first place, he's either deceptive or lacks complete understanding, as you are asking him whether or not it is about understanding. In our report, if he's realistic, let him read to you the number we inherited in terms of the workforce. He need to read that to you. 67,746.
I read that.
We also inherited a set of consultants in a total amount of 1,000. Benedict knows that. 1,000 across spending entities, 1,000 individuals, quote unquote, providing consultancy. Some of whom we could not even identify when we took over and did our own assessment. We had to shut that down immediately. You know how much government lost in 2023 alone? $6.1 million. Benedict is not telling you that $6.1 million. And you know how consultants are paid? They are paid through goods and services. It's not through the compensation line. The failure of Benedict to even explain to the public that consultants' payment is not true. The direct compensation in terms of salaries and wages.
But sir, there is a major issue that he raised. That according to your report.
I'm laying the premise.
A short time here, I want to send a message.
Julia,
No,
Julia.
listen.
Can you?
The question is,
can you just listen to him, Mr. Joker?
Dan, please. I don't have much time. I just want you to answer one question. Did you say in your report that you reduced the wage bill from 23.5 to 21.1?
Okay, yeah.
Julius,
you can go ahead.
You listen to me. The compensation is divided in two categories. We have regular employees. Julius, do you want me to speak, Julius?
Go ahead, Josiah. No, Benedict, wait. Just wait. Benedict, let him go ahead. There is a key issue here. You can go ahead, Mr. Joker.
Thank you so much. Julius, in the first place, we have two categories of compensations. we have the consultancy compensation and we have the regular employees.
Mm-hmm.
The regular employees, we have the compensation, and for the consultancy alone, is part of the savings that we did. 2023 alone, they spent $6.1 million. When we took over, we reformed the consultancy regime. We established consultancy policy. Listen.
No, but Mr. Jokai, Director General Jokai, there is a key issue here that he raised that I wanted you to just address.
Issue, Julius. There is a fundamental issue we need to clarify.
No. Just wait, leave it, Benedict. Let me, Benedict. No, just leave it. Lead that time business. I can stay invite you anytime. Lead the time business. Let me deal with this.
Well, Julius, if Benedict on because I'm not going to argue with Benedict here. In the first place, I'm doing it for the sake of the public.
Yeah, sure. And so let us go to the key issue. No. But then you cannot say that. You cannot say that, Mr. Director General. Whether you have PhD and someone doesn't have PhD doesn't mean you can have a conversation. I think that's the only reason why you're saying that. So let us address what the issue is. There is a major issue that he raised that I want you to please address. Benedict is saying that in your 2024 report, you stated that you reduced government's compensation from 23 plus million to 21 plus million. He's saying in 2025 that has gone up to over 26 million. Is it true? And how can you explain that?
That is diabolical and that is erroneous. It's not true. It's untrue. And now you listening to the business. The numbers are totally wrong and unacceptable. That's disingenuous on his part. And that's why I want him to listen, because I am the authority in this area. Benedict has 6 years. Benedict has 6 years. Now, Julius,
let him Benedict relax. Let him ask the question.
I think this is being disrespectful.
No, Benedict, your microphone off. Let the man just address the question. No, please let him address the question. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much. So I try to explain to you, to tell you that we have the two categories of compensations. I told you that in 2023 alone, we lost $6.1 million. When we took over, we abolished that, taking away the 1,000 consultants. Today we are under 100. We have not even hired more than 100 consultants across government, for which we are paying just around $1.2 million. So that's about saving around $4.8 million from the $6.1 million that they grossly abused in 2023. That is reflected in the report. It is there, Julius. You will read it.
Yeah,
we also mentioned the compensation and indicated that we inherited a total of 67,746, and that's true. Benedict knows that. And then we did the ESRP clean up to the extent that in that report, at the time of a report, we brought the number down to 60,900.
Good. And I said that. I read that.
Very good. We were able to bring the compensation down on the basis of that from 23.5.
Good.
We did that.
And brought it down to 21.1 million monthly, right?
Thank you.
So where is it now?
So yeah, and that's where we are. We are around $21.1 million, 21.6, depending on the variance.
But how come the finance ministry is according to the 2025 May year report putting the total compensation to more than $300 million?
Yes, because you have the SOEs, you have different entities that are now under the CSA. CSA only reported for the 105 spending entities, not all the government institutions. That's what Benedict is very deceptive about. He needed to educate you because he worked for the Ministry of Finance. He knows that that constitutes the totality of the compensation of government institutions. But what we reported for is the 103 spending entities at the time. Now we have 105. That does not include all of the SOEs that are inclusive of what the finance minister reported. Finance minister is the head of the institution that manages the economy of the country.
So there are how many spending entities?
105. That's what CSA has the payroll for. And
How many other entities are kind of added there to make the wage bill to be more than 300 million?
Oh, you have many. You have the SOEs. I can tell you the total. You can ask the BSE, the Bureau of State Enterprises. They manage the SOEs. Those are many institutions. The NPA, the LPRC. Those are all the institutions. You know, the LEC. All of them combined. CSA does not control that, and that's a deception.
It said the finance ministry that controls the
finance ministry reports on that because the finance ministry manages the economy and the finances of the country. So the report.
So I'm saying, are there budgets in terms of salaries captured in the finance ministry's budget that is submitted to the legislature?
The finance ministry captured that, but the CSA only control the spending entities.
Okay.
So you see the difference, Julius?
Okay.
You see that? And
Okay.
they must not be sitting in our studio.
Okay.
And
Thanks
deceiving
so
the Liberian
kindly.
people.
Okay.
And that's so diabolical, and I don't think we should do it.
Thanks so kindly. Now we have got the point. I come back to you, Benedict, on that.
So, Julius, you see, I was patient. I have been long to mention Josiah name because of some biases. And the biases are Josiah and myself went to school together. We were refugees. We did student politics together. We even protested against the current agriculture minister. 1. 2, Josiah and myself come from the same district, and we come from the same church. But because he has called and began to highlight, he demeaned me. Look, if the president was serious, he will fire Josiah. For Josiah to tell me that state-owned enterprise are on the payroll. The Minister of Finance only account for monies that go into consolidated account. Except Josiah telling me, right now within this government, LPRC is being paid by Minister of Finance. Or National Port Authority is very
high up at the.
Except that what he's telling me
at
now.
The LRA says the CSA boss is lying. SOE's compensation line is not inclusive of total compensation in the approved budget.
Josiah, say you have gotten at me. I was respectful of you because you know this is the professional arrogance they got in the government. Josiah, you got PhD. It doesn't matter. I work in an appointed position in government before you. I work at the nucleus of the government.
That is not important.
No, it's important when he was trying to demean me.
No,
okay. So the first mistake he's making is that, hey, Brother, when you keep Josiah in your government, the government will fail. For him to come here and lie to the public that the $21.1 million that the wage bill is not part of the state-owned enterprise. The one Minister of Finance is reporting is inclusive of state-owned enterprise. That is diabolical. That it doesn't have an understanding of the public financial management system. And Minister Gaffan is managing with because I told you I've not been able to discuss Minister of Finance because Minister Gaffan just going into a pit. I want to see the budget that he's going to submit for 2026 before I start discussing him. He's finding it difficult, and those are some of the difficulties because Josiah feels he knows all. Let me say this to you. In fact, Josiah has even over-evaluated my point. The money he said he saved from payroll, the consultancy are not part of it. So if you save even $4 million from consultancy, and then that consultancy money to reduce goods and services, I didn't write the report. You say you reduce from 23.5 to 21.1. How can it go on to 316? You come and sit here and deceive the Liberian people. Look, let me say to the Liberian people, what happened to us was a socket. And I started the foundation by saying, because Josiah and the rest of the people lie. I don't discuss people when I come here. I discuss data, but he has brought himself in it. Because they lie to the population that, look, there was also ghosts on the payroll, so he got one to clean it. If Josiah, I can challenge you, let Josiah write my resignation report from CDC and be in his hand. We go to MICAT and he prove even 20% in this report. I will read my resignation report from CDC and join Unity Party and apologize to the Liberian people because you know why? the biggest policy that I can post or that we did, have we not done it, this country will collapse, that will harmonization. I can defend it to the depth of my life because have we not done it, the country will collapse. And you got somebody who don't understand the public financial management system to deceive the Liberian people and say he a magician, he reduced wage bill by $28 million a year. Are you killing me? Then he comes on the radio to insult me.
And that's okay.
So what as an agency boss is get a favor from the president. It doesn't mean you know it better than somebody.
Thanks so kindly. We have you here because of time. No, because the time.
Look, I left from my back. I came here. Then you allow somebody who lying to the people to take time on the radio.
It was his entity.
No,
that was being talked about.
So okay, let me close now. Let me close.
No, you're not. Later on, before you close. How you close? But don't time to close. That closing time. I will call here for part 2. We didn't talk about the arrest agenda, the arrest importation. We didn't talk about inflation. No, sit down, listen to the course. Let's take Amos Toe. Yeah. Let's take Amos Toe from the LPRC. Go ahead, Amos. Let's hear you.
Well, I just wanted to correct something. I don't know the basis for his agitation in studio, but I heard that he indicated Ministry of Finance is paying LPRC. I don't know what the basis for that and what kind of information he was trying to provide. That information he is providing is false. It's a blatant lie. That LPRC, that Ministry of Finance is paying LPRC salary is a blatant lie.
Amos, I can bring documentation.
Pay attention, please, I beg you. If it happened in his administration,
it was not him that said it. No, it must listen.
So I'm saying to you, if it ever happened during the administration, I don't know about, but the JNB administration or during my administration as managing director at LPRC, Ministry of Finance is not paying in time to any of our employees.
So that means the CSA boss lied.
No, but I don't know where that information is coming from because LPRC is not being paid by Minister of Finance. We pay our own employees.
Okay, thanks.
Whoever provide that information is a blatant lie.
Okay, thanks so kindly, sir.
They can investigate before coming out with such an information.
Okay.
LPRC is paying its own employees.
Okay.
So no Minister of Finance is paying LPRC's employee. That information is false.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks so kindly, Amos. Thanks so kindly, Amos. Well, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. No, leave it. Very, very, very interesting. Welcome, and let's hear you. Let's take a few calls. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Like?
Yes, go ahead quickly. We don't have enough time.
Thank you. I want to say thank you so much to Benedict Koluba for unveiling these things that are happening. But one thing that caught my attention quickly, our PhD DG say that the consultants are honor 100. Did he say that?
No, he said consultants. The consultants they have now.
Yeah. Honor 100?
Yeah.
Honor 100 is a blatant lie. Go to Ministry of Labor and look. Do you know how many percent has consultants? Oh, man.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Let's take a few more calls. Let's see who's right here. Welcome. And let's hear you.
Thank you, Julius. This is Production Fire.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate the type of debate on the radio. It will expose the thing that is ongoing in this country to deceive the Liberian people on what is not existing. I really appreciate the debate. The debate has brought to light so many deceits that is ongoing. And it has exposed a report that particular report for too many errors. Because I think Benedict Koluba is reading from the report. He's not saying things on his own. He's digesting and analyzing the report made by CSA. And I think everyone's trying to confirm that in that report, they also lie. Thank you for this debate, and let's continue so we can know what they are doing in our country.
Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you, Mr. Koti, quickly.
Thank you very much. I sent you a text, but I think I better say it publicly. Please invite somebody from the CSA.
No, but and the CSA boss is definitely talking.
No, that is not enough. You have one man sitting in studio there explaining himself 100 years. Let somebody be sitting before him face to face. It doesn't. Mr. Joker did not have the time to talk enough. No,
but he said he not even supposed to engage with the man. Like what he said.
Okay, somebody else can come.
Why you think he should not engage with the man? He as the boss.
So. I'm not the one saying that he can come or somebody can come. But what I'm saying is that you have Mr. Colabar in studio interrupting the man, and he didn't have the chance to explain himself. So please.
No, the man actually explained himself on the key issue, and that key issue has been debunked by Amos Twed. I know it is not true. Finance minister not paying them, but thanks so kindly.
Look, please invite somebody. I mentioned it in studio.
No, but Mr. Koti, you supposed to be asking CSA boss why he said why is second to last caller quickly. Let's hear you.
Yes. Julius, sorry about that. And let me say a pleasant good evening to your guests in studio. I phone in from District 4, and this is the voice of Akwe Ebue Senior. Like Mr. Koti said, I appreciate you, Julius, for the kind of debate. I think we as Liberians, we follow religiously, and there were a lot of hitting, things that have come to the spotlight. But in the wake of all what has happened, I think it's fair enough, like Mr. Koti said, at least to invite.
No, but if they won't come tomorrow, there's no issue. There's absolutely, we can always find time. Nothing that not issue for Polo County Radio, not issue. Thanks so kindly. It is up to them. Finally, let's get you quickly.
Julius, this is Robert Wilson. How you doing?
Fine.
I listened to the conversation, but I let us make a clarification. Josiah Joker didn't say that Minister of Finance can pay SOEs. He said 105 spent entities. But when Governor of the Minister of Finance capture every entity in terms of the payment, he didn't say. So the person that called Amos 2 went to make that claim was wrong. He said 103 spending entities.
But if an administration not paying the people, how are they reporting their compensation as part of the total government compensation?
To holistically tell the people of Liberia how people are paid. He didn't say that.
Okay. Thanks. So kindly, because of time, we have to go. That's just 1 minute. Let's.
Julius, I think I was not treated fair here.
No.
Let me end.
Yeah,
let me ask anybody who is interested in this debate. Pay for 2 hours for me. I will come back. I need 2 hours. And let me say to seditionists, let me say to people who work with President Weah, this debate must break. You must embrace yourself that the people lie on you. They're not able this country. Let me say this to Josiah. I have respected you and been biased. All my posts have been CSA. I didn't mention you. But I'm mentioning you directly now because you came on me. I'm saying to you, because of your professional arrogance, you will damage this country. Number one, you did a premature report. You cannot do yearly report on the 25th of November. It's premature. It's a showmanship. You also mentioned that you reduced the compensation from 23.5 to 21.1. That isn't true. You also said Finance Minister captured salaries compensation for state-owned enterprises. That is not true. And anybody who think that I'm lying, and let me say this. The reason they don't compete with me is that I don't lie. I speak with data. Today, tomorrow, Julius are sleeping, call me. Anybody who feels that I'm lying and they must be in a policy position. If you come to a studio with me, the next day the president will fire you because you were deceiving the president.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. His name is Benedict Koluba, former assistant minister. My name is Julius J. Tomorrow will be another day we are out.